Is this on? Okay. Okay, so I'm here with
Rachel.
Rachel, and your name?
Grace.
Where? I'll start with you first. Where are you from?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yes.
And how about you?
Myanmar.
Where?
Myanmar.
How do you say it?
Myanmar.
Myanmar. Okay. Okay, I'll start with you. Are you visiting, or do you live in Hong Kong? Do you live here
I
in
live
California?
here.
You live here?
Yeah.
How long have you lived in California?
3 years.
3 years. And how about yourself?
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
So I'll start with you first. What's a big difference in life in California versus Hong Kong? Like what's one of the things you've noticed, like from people? Are the people very different? Just everyday life, or?
People don't make small talks like in here. I feel like a lot of people are making small talks in here, even they don't really care about you. So like
Okay.
let's say when you go to the supermarket, they would ask you like, oh, how's your day? But they would proceed right after like 0.5 seconds and just like, do whatever they have to do.
Okay.
So I think the difference is that there are less small talks in Hong Kong
Really?
comparing to in California.
So it's more just get to the point what we need, and we don't small talk.
Just cut to the chase.
So for example, like it's not uncommon here. Like I could be at a park, let's say, sitting down, and I can start a conversation, and people will talk for 10-15 minutes. So in Hong Kong, you don't do
You
that?
can still do that.
Okay.
But when people do that, they are genuinely interested to meet that person instead of more like a
Like a fake thing?
Yeah,
like
like
just
a-
pretending like I'm interested, but I'm not?
like instead of like a ritual that they feel like they have to. Like people who work in the store, they work in restaurants. They feel like they have to. How's your day? Whenever you do anything. But,
Right. Okay.
Like saying hi just comes off as rude in here.
Really? Interesting. How about you? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, kind of. But I also think that like in here, people that don't wanna have very help to each other.
People don't want to have what?
Each other.
Okay.
Because like in our country, like some people got in trouble or like harassed by some people, they're really helpful and like help them quickly. But in here, not that much. As far as I saw.
Like sense of community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Like people are more willing to help if you even they don't know you too much. You're not their
they're
friends.
like their own mind their own business.
Yeah.
People mind their own business.
Yeah, in here.
More like self-centered, I would say.
Interesting. So, are people generally friendlier here, or you feel like they're friendlier in your country? Like, just who do you feel is friendlier?
Surface level here.
Surface level here,
Yeah.
but deeper level.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I think it depends to the individual, so I think it's like a 50-50.
50-50, you'd
Yeah.
say? Okay. How about where you're from? What's the weather like there versus here?
I think it's really completely same.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I came here.
Oh, interesting. So you say you have 4 seasons?
No, we only have 3, but normally like in Cali we only have rain and summer.
Really? And how about in Hong Kong?
We have 4 seasons, but I think we have 2 seasons, autumn and summer. So,
Okay.
And also spring, but we don't have an actual winter, and it's really humid because it's like along like the coastline.
Okay. Very interesting. So in Hong Kong, do a lot of people drive there, or is it like I've been talking to so many people from different areas, and I didn't realize this. Like driving here, most of us Americans drive right away, but in other cultures, what I'm learning is driving isn't as important in bigger areas where there's a lot of transportation. Is it like that in Hong Kong? Does everybody drive, or?
It's like in New York.
Okay.
So people still drive there, but it's mostly like richer people who drives there.
Really?
From day to day, most of the people don't really own a car in there. They just because you can fully depend on the public transport because
Okay.
it's very safe. First, it's very safe. Second,
Okay.
it's accessible.
Okay.
Third, it's affordable. So
Okay.
there's no reason for people not to do that because Hong Kong is the #1 expensive land per square foot in the whole world.
Wow.
So funding for like just to paying for like a parking spot is a lot. Like it could go up easily like $800 per month just for like somewhere that's not even that fancy. And there's not any parking spot. If you think finding a parking is hard in here, it's double, 2 times
Really?
harder in there.
Wow. Okay. So Hong Kong is twice as hard.
Yeah, I think only rich people drive there mostly. Or
Okay.
like if your job has to drive, like you're a taxi driver, you're a bus driver, but
Okay.
all else, rarely.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And how about you? Is it the same?
Yeah, it's really the same because our country there is like an inflammation in money, so everyone's already have their car and like.
Okay.
So Yeah, if we don't have a car, it's not easy to communicate or transport.
It's not.
Yeah,
So it's similar to LA where you
yeah,
kind of
similar
need a
to
car.
LA. So like our country, the city that I live is like a small portion of LA, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
So Amirs, did you guys meet each other here in the States?
Yeah, in here.
Oh, okay. How did you guys meet each other? I'm just curious.
We met through mutual friends.
Oh, through mutual friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, I'll start with you. How is the food where you're from versus here? Is it a big difference in food?
Yeah, it is a bit different.
What would you say, like, are some of the differences?
Like the Asian food, like they have lots of more tasteful and like spices and there are lots of spicy foods there.
Okay.
So yeah, in LA, like they don't like that much like the spicy food.
Okay, spicy is usually. I could understand what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
And how about what do you think about the food difference?
So Hong Kong was previously colonized by the British. So we
Correct.
don't like our local cuisine would be either like the southern part, like a southern Chinese cuisines like dim sum, or if you're talking about food that are exclusive in Hong Kong would be a mixture of the Chinese and the Western cuisine. So we would have like char siu spaghetti and like stuff like that. But
Interesting.
yeah, in terms of like the food wise, like the food scene out there, I would say it's better than in LA. You can easily find like a Michelin restaurant in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Even like for the cheaper Michelin, like the Bib Gourmand, or like even for the fancier one, there's more options because it's so compact and it's so diverse, and it's also like where a lot of foreign investors are in. So it's super competitive for the food and beverage industry in there.
Wow.
So they're like mixology, like cocktail bars and stuff. You would never go to a place and it's like it would be a watered down cocktail that barely
Really?
tastes like alcohol.
Really?
Or super low quality food that you feel like you're just paying for the atmospheres. Like
Really? So the quality of food is good?
it's really well controlled.
Really?
Yeah.
No, because here in LA you can go to places and you know you're not really paying for the food. You're paying for
Ambience.
Yeah.
vibe.
Because the food, like, there's a place I go to in Beverly Hills, and honestly, their drinks to me are like I could get it at 7-Eleven, but because you're in a nice Beverly Hills place, they'll charge you
Yeah.
whatever, $30, $40 for a drink, but it's
Yeah.
like this is really a $5 drink at the most. It's not the quality. You're paying to be in a nice atmosphere, so it's not like that in Hong Kong.
Well, the spending is going to be similar because it's like a major city around
Sure.
the world, but you get quality. If you're willing to pay for that money, you get what you deserve.
Wow. Yeah, it's not like that here. Here, you could pay a lot of money just because it doesn't. The quality could be bad, but you're paying again for a name. It's like you're paying for the name.
atmosphere and the
Yeah, you're paying for the. Wow, that is so interesting. So, okay, Hong Kong, you said you have seasons?
We kind of do, not as much as in New York, but we do. You feel the difference, but
Okay.
it's not like snowing versus super hot, like desert-like weather. It's more like you need to layer up. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. So one of the things too is where you're from. What is the cost difference here in California much more?
Yeah, much more.
Like what? Okay, for example, we're in Santa Monica. If you were to rent, let's say, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath here, you can easily spend $2,500 to $3,500 here.
Yes.
Where you're from, what is it around? Would you say?
To be honest, like to
Uh-huh.
rent an own apartment in our country, we can only get like a $300 or something.
300 US dollars.
Yes.
300 US dollars a month.
Yeah, you can get it like very
Wow.
wide and high. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's not even insurance over here.
That we don't do any tax or insurance there.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have any tax there. We
Wow.
might stay here, but not like much.
Wow, $300 a month?
Yeah.
To rethink my life choices. And how about in Hong Kong? Is it similar or is it a big difference in cost?
Renting or buying a house?
Let's say rent. Let's say you're gonna rent a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. What would you say it would cost?
They're having a big discount here.
Really?
Comparing to in Hong Kong. Like if you want like
Okay.
a decent 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and I'm not talking like a Manhattan-sized shoebox. I'm talking like something that's actually livable.
Sure.
1-bedroom, 1-bath. You can get it like 4.5 US dollar, and it
for about $4,500 US dollars a month.
yeah, and that would
Wow.
be somewhere like 750 square feet.
Wow, so it's more expensive then.
And also depends on the location. If you want
Sure.
somewhere that's more decent, it can easily be $5,000 for like a luxury condo.
Well, I mean, yeah, depending here, because like in Santa Monica, but if you go to Manhattan Beach, which is like 40 minutes from here, you can spend $6,000 a month, but it's the wealthiest of the wealthy.
I would say the range is 2.5 to
Okay.
4.5.
Two-
4.8. 4.8, I would say.
Wow. Now in Hong Kong, what's a common career people there pursue? Because like here, okay, for example, here in California, you'll meet a lot of people who are actors, and a lot of people just do oddball work. Like you're not gonna meet very many like, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer here. You meet a lot of people who do just different things. Is it like that in Hong Kong, in a big city?
A lot of investment bankers.
Really?
A lot of like management consultants.
Okay.
Accountants. Business and banking.
Okay.
Most of them. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you? Same? Or
No.
what's it like for you?
What?
In your country, what are a lot of popular careers or jobs people do?
I think like mostly STEM major, like engineering or like going to medical school or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's what our parents wants to be. So
Your parents want you to be?
yeah, like they want to like stable career for the future because our
Okay.
country is not that safe right now because
Okay.
of the political situation. So
Okay.
they really want they really want us to be in the stable career.
What's your dream? Let's say you had $20 million and you could do whatever, any career. What would you wanna pursue? If money doesn't matter, you just here's a lump sum of money. What would you want to do?
I'm gonna pursue what I'm studying right now.
You what?
I'm gonna stay pursue what I'm studying right now.
What are you studying?
I'm studying neuroscience right now.
Neuroscience. Wow.
Yeah, and
Smart.
I'm gonna go to medical school.
Medical school.
Yeah,
Good for
because
you. Good for
I
you.
went to the medical school in my country.
Oh, you went to medical school in your country.
Yeah, but I'm transferred here, so I have to.
Oh, but
start.
because the credits don't.
Yeah.
They
no,
don't.
Yeah.
They don't accept some of it,
And
right?
then like, I only studied there like for half semester.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why.
What do you if money wasn't an option? I say here's a lump sum of money. What would you want to pursue?
I want to start my own business.
Okay.
I have several business ideas that I have,
Really?
but let's say the least out of it. Actually, let's not talk about the business idea.
Okay.
Don't want it to be leaked.
Okay, that's
but
fair.
I would like to start like a charity.
Charity.
Like a NGO or charity for housewives, as I feel like they're the most neglected, like one of the like overseen community in the society.
Housewives,
That's-
like stay-at-home moms, you mean?
Yeah, I want
Okay.
to like do like a charity or like an NGO for them, like that host events for them, because I feel like I realized this during COVID that a lot of housewives, once their children or their husband need to stay at home during the pandemic, they don't really have a place to hang
Just get
around,
away.
like to get away. And I feel like even now people are starting to go back to work. I just feel like if there's like an opportunity for them to still like learn and upgrade themselves, let's say learning pottery, it doesn't have to be something too super serious, right? Like culinary.
Culinary, yeah, uh-huh.
I feel like it would be easier for them if, let's say, one day they divorce or if something comes into a problem, they have to start work again. They
Uh-huh.
get merged back to like the workforce in the society.
You know, it's funny. I saw a video one time. It was a skit. It wasn't real. But this guy, he gets mad at his wife because she comes in from a long day. He comes in from a long day at work, and he gets mad at her because he's like, "You left the house mess. You did." So he gets mad at her about all these things she didn't do. So he leaves the house and he goes to his friends, and he says, "My wife doesn't do anything, you know." And then his friend says, "Okay, what does she do?" He says, "Okay, you have 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
So if you had to pay a babysitter, how much would it cost to take care of 3 kids?" He's like, "At least $300 for the day, right?" He says, "Does she clean the clothes?" He said, "Yeah." "Does she is there always food even if you don't like?" "Yeah." He said, "Okay, if we do the math and we break it down, your wife should be making about $500 to $700 a day based off all the things she does. So technically on paper, she brings more value than you do. You just get paid because you go to a job and they show you to you in a monetary form. But if you were to break down all the things she does, she actually brings in a lot. You just don't see it that way. So that's kind of a nice concept, especially
Because
for
it's good. Because I don't see any like organization that's specifically for housewives to find like their.
you probably make
I
a
would-
lot of money if you did it right.
I
Like-
wouldn't say it's like to give them purpose or value because I believe they have value before they were like once maybe like a business owner, they were once
Sure.
senior in some company, but I just feel like there's not really a lot of opportunities for them to gather up and to build their own community because they're just going to at least in Hong Kong most of them just go to groceries or to like daycare to drop off their children and home. But I feel like, and I see a lot of cases of like people when they divorced, they had a hard time merging back to find a job, like after quitting, after being a full-time housewife for 10 years.
Wow.
I feel like it doesn't have, even it's recreational, some entertaining activities, you know, like classes or like, you know, how floral arts classes. I feel like it help them to relax and like it's meaningful because I feel like a lot of people overseen the value of those heroes.
Wow, that's kind of a. I think you should do something with that. Sounds like a really, even if you made that to some like. So I used to run businesses, so this is. I'll chop this part so people won't sell. But this is what I would do if I were you. You can actually start that as a business, and then what you can do, you can have events and things set up, but have people pay a membership, right? So because once you get people on a membership, you bring in residual income. So let's hypothetically say, let's say you get 500 people, right? And you charge something reasonable, like $50 a month, something where it's not going to be so much where people are going to care, $50 a month.
Okay.
But then with that money, you have different events. So let's say you rent out a venue here for the night. Let's say you spend, I don't know, $500 to rent out the venue, whatever, and you have, so the money you're making on their memberships is what helps you pay for the venues, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go to different venues, you can partner with people. So like if I were, let's say, a restaurant owner,
Yeah.
I'd approach them, say, look, I have a thing, it's specifically for housewives. It's catered, we want to rent out the spot on a Sunday, right? They'll say, okay, it costs, you know, $500 to rent it out Sunday night. You say, okay. Or they may give it to you for free because they'll work out a deal with you when they're selling liquor. And then maybe you charge, you know, $10 a ticket. So the $10 they're paying there covers all your costs, but you make a lot of money on subscription and memberships. When I had some businesses that was subscription based, that's how I made the most money because you bring in constant
Yeah.
money. But you could probably, rather than make it a charity, probably could make it a business where people would pay for that.
I think that's
Because women
feasible.
would, yeah. I mean, I think they would pay for it to be a part of like a community
Yeah.
and pay. So, wow. Well, thank you guys. That was some beautiful ideas.
you.
I was like, you guys gave me some great insights. That I really like. I like hearing that again. That's really cool.